So, this will be one of the last few videos of this electronics tutorial series. And the point of this video is that I'm going to give you some tips for the electronics O level, which is coming in like 4 days. As of this recording, 4 days. So I'll give you some tips which you can use. So just stay for that part of the video. Then after that, I'm going to be summarizing our entire experience together lah. Okay, so the tips, okay? I have 3 tips that would help you in the exam. I was gonna say would help you with if you didn't know your work, but that's not true. You're gonna need to know your work either way. Okay, but anyway. So my first tip is circuit analysis. So when they give you a circuit, right, you look at the circuit, then you ask yourself, okay, does this sub circuit look familiar to you? Because in a main circuit that they might give you, there will probably be sub circuits. They won't give you like many sub circuits, but they will give you lah. So you divide the main circuit up into like different sub circuits, like oh this is a voltage divider, or whatever, or this, oh yeah, there's an IR diode, oh there's a photodiode. Then once you divide up, right, then you can ask yourself, oh, what does a voltage divider do? What's the input, what's the output? And then you just label these things. You can divide them out, label these things. And the point of doing this is to give you context on the circuit of what it does. And for me, right, context is very important to help you pass. Okay, I mean that's why most of you are here, right, to pass. So I mean that's fine. Okay, yeah. So circuit analysis helps you build context on what the circuit does. Okay. My next tip for you is kind of a no-brainer, but you need to be conscious about it. You need to consciously read the the questions carefully, because the questions, at least in O-level standard, I don't know about the prelim papers from other school, but the questions will give you a good amount of context that you can use to your advantage. Again, building context is very important. So read carefully and understand what's going on. Try your best, because in the calculations, right, in the concepts, you may see everything that's foreign, but in the question you're reading English. You've been speaking English for the past 16 years. So the question may actually give you um, a better advantage of understanding what the hell is going on, rather than just jumping straight in. So please just consciously read carefully. Okay. And my last tip would be looking at mark allocation for those writing questions. So like when they ask you, if let's say there's a full bridge rectifier circuit, right, and then they ask you, oh okay, describe how the full bridge rectifier rectifies AC into DC. So and then they give you 4 marks. So in electronics, it's very simple paper. 4 marks usually probably means 4 points. So you have to state 4 different points. If it's 3 marks, probably 3 different points. 2 points, 2 marks, probably 2 points. 1 mark, 1 point. Very simple. And you need to be conscious about this as well, because from my experience of seeing your work, you're not conscious about this. That's why I'm including this as a tip. So look at the mark allocation, like 4 points, oh it's 4 marks, oh it's 4 points. You must state 4 different things. Okay, so those are my 3 tips for you. Circuit analysis, reading very carefully, and mark allocation, looking at mark allocation. Yeah, those would be my tips for someone if they knew little to nothing. And these are my tips for you. So yeah, so that's the first part of the video, which is like the useful part. The next part is just more of sentiments, I think. I don't know if that's the right usage of the word. So I'll just be summarizing what we've been doing for the past 2 years. So I would say it's been a good 2 years. At the start, everyone being curious about what this weird subject that only like five schools in Singapore has, to now regretting your choice of picking electronics. For me, what I would say is that it has been very very fun from the making the circuits, from doing theory, from the lesson time. Like um, oh, I wasn't really thinking about talking about this, but Mr. Zhu has been a incredible teacher alongside Mr. Ko and everything, with Mr. Zhu with his stories and all. Really made the class a friendly environment and friendly space. Yeah. So 2 years of that has been pretty good. But I mean, I don't think that's what you'd be thinking about when maybe 20 years or 10 years down the road, like someone asks you, or for some reason someone asks you, like, oh, electronics, oh, you took electronics, yeah. I don't think you remember this, because maybe you would remember instead, oh yeah, oh, that's the subject where everyone fail or whatever. Maybe that's what you remember. But that's not what I remember. When if I look back, I won't remember it as the class, the subject where I'm one of the few people that actually got A's or whatever. Or I won't look back at it as the subject that everyone failed or whatever. Because that's not all that was to it. Okay, we actually did things together as a class. We One of the main things, 2024, we went to TP. We went to TP. We did that thing where we made the game for elderlies with dementia. That was, for me, it may be a once in a lifetime experience, because I don't plan to go to poly. Some of you do. So some of you may actually go on to pursue these kind of designing things, but not me. So for me, it's a once in a lifetime experience. I'm not doing that anymore. So that's what I'm looking back to, those experiences, those times with Mr. Zhu, those times when we were in class all doing right, and then we don't know what the hell we're doing, but we're putting the components into the breadboard, and then you'll ask me all the time how to fix it or whatever. That's what I remember. I don't remember the grades. So what I'm trying to say is that it has been a really good time these 2 years. And this year especially, new to me, is that I quote unquote taught you guys, or tried to help you guys remember the past content that Mr. Zhu taught us, and try to introduce the new topics to you guys that Mr. Zhu didn't go through, and Mr. Ko helped introduce as well. That's for me, that's a jump start into possibly a future career in teaching for myself. So that in itself, amazing experience for me, because this is where, okay, personally, this is where, for me, this is where I start. I think this is a starting point for me. So, and that would not have happened without you. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm looking back to, these 2 years of electronics. So the overarching thing, what am I really saying? Whatever happens on the 3rd of November, whatever grade you get, and I know everyone has already said this to you, right? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what grade you get. It doesn't matter what grade I get, because that's not important. Because what was important is the time at TP, was the time listening to Mr. Zhu's stories, was me teaching you guys in the classroom, was me teaching you guys in Discord. That's that's the thing. If now you are really going to study, try your best to remember everything. If now you're not, it doesn't matter. The grade doesn't matter. Because what matters is that, other than remembering our experiences, what matters most is, on the 3rd of November and throughout your life, you start strong, stay strong, and finish strong.